Okay, let's continue number one. So we have this separable equation, and now we're ready to integrate. So if we integrate the left-hand side, notice that this guy here, right, the derivative of this function is -1. So we really need a -1 here. I mean, you can write in the -1 if you want, -1 and then 1 over -1. Let's actually go ahead and write it in. So, right, I'm really multiplying by -1. I haven't changed the value. So now this guy, right, this is, again, the derivative of this guy over that same function. So we are left with negative ln of the absolute value of 250 minus v. And then the right-hand side is just kt plus c. I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by -1, so I get negative kt plus, of course, our constant of integration. We have a natural logarithm, so we definitely want to exponentiate both sides. So we're going to exponentiate. Okay, so we have, let's see, we know this is gone, and we are left with 250 minus v. Equals e to the negative kt, right? I can rewrite this as e to the c, and again, I can call this big C or any other variable you'd like. So let's go ahead and move this up a little. Okay, so we have, let's see, okay, so let me rewrite this as c e to the negative kt. So remember, we're solving the differential equation, which means we're finding the function of v of t that satisfies our differential equation. So here we have a function of t, so c and k are constants. So I want to solve for this v. So just again, using some algebra, I can move the 250 over and then finally solve for v. And when I solve for v, so v of t specifically, I get 250, let's see, minus c e to the negative kt. So again, I just brought my 250 over and then I divided by both sides or multiplied both sides by -1. So this is my function, right? Here is a general solution to our differential equation. We just need to find our constants. We have c and t. And hopefully, I mean, this makes sense because we have an initial value problem, right, from above. We were given, recall, right, v of 0 equals 0, and right, the car is at rest. Right, at time t equals 0, it's not moving. So after 10 seconds, right, the velocity is 100 kilometers per hour. So we still have this given information, so we know we're not done. So we can definitely find well, we have this function, so let's go ahead and find c, and let's find k, because then we'll be able to find the time that the car will reach a velocity of 200 kilometers per hour, because we'll be able to plug in our 200. But hopefully it makes sense that you have to find your k and you have to find your c. So moving on, so we're finding our k and c. Okay, so let's go ahead and we have this function here, so let's use our v of 0. So v of 0 equals 250 minus c e to the it's negative k times 0. Well, this is 0, and well, e to the 0 power is 1, so minus c. Well, 250 minus what is 0? C has to be 250. Okay, so there's our 250, so we know there's our 250. So let's go ahead and just move this up a little. And let's see, move this up. Okay, so now we want to determine our k. So let's go ahead and, I know I just put the little arrow, but let me rewrite that function with our new k. So 250, or our new c actually. 250 minus 250 e to the negative kt. Now be careful here, make sure you don't write 0, right? A lot of students want to write 0 because they see 250 minus 250, but recall the order of operations from math is you have to, right, you have to do your exponents first, raise to, right, some power, then multiply by 250, and then then multiply by -1, and then add your 250. So that's the reason why mathematically wise, but I want you to understand why it doesn't just make sense in general. I mean, if so let's just write this. If v of t, right, again, this is wrong, don't do this, but if you say, oh, 250 minus 250, okay, v of t is 0, well, then you're saying that, let's see, let's just make this different color here. So if the velocity is 0, that's, I mean, a horizontal line, so that means that's your x-axis. So v of t is 0 at any given time. Okay, so at 0, the velocity is 0. We know that because v of 0 is 0. Okay, well, after 10 seconds, right, let's just say that, whoops, this is 10 seconds. Well, the velocity is supposed to be 100. Let's just say that's 100. And it's not 100, right? It's still at 0 at any time, and this is not true. So the math says it's wrong, but also, I mean, I want you to ask yourself, does it make sense? So make sure not to do this, right? This is bad. Don't do this. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so let's move this up a bit. Where's my zoom in here? Okay, technical difficulties again. It's not letting me zoom in. Okay, I will just stop here and I'll continue in the next video.